Hey y'all, it's Shantae with Farsight, and this week I wanted to dive into a topic that is essential to personal growth and self-awareness: intuition. Some people call it a gut feeling or first knowledge, but it's that instant knowing that seems to come from somewhere beyond our logical thinking. And tuning into your intuition is very helpful during remote viewing, but you'll find it will spread into other areas of your life and improve those as well. So, for example, your health, relationship, and career, etc. can improve because better intuition can lead to better decision making overall. So let's explore what intuition is, why it's helpful, and how we can actually practice listening to and strengthening it. First off, if we're defining intuition, it's like a way of knowing something without exactly knowing how you know it. And we're able to make decisions without deliberate analytical thought. I like to think of it as like, if A happens, then I just know that B will follow. So if I think of A as a specific feeling, like if I'm getting a bad feeling about someone, a sketchy vibe, then B is I'm just immediately not going to trust them too easily. So our intuition will guide us if we're willing to listen to it. But that's the thing, sometimes we just don't listen. And I'll admit, I haven't exactly mastered intuition myself, if there even is such a thing as mastering your intuition. But I can recognize moments where ignoring it led me down a tougher path. So even if we have a strong intuition, it doesn't do much good if we're not willing to trust and act on it. And remember, regardless of any past mistakes, we're exactly where we need to be right now. And every experience, even the tough ones, brings us closer to understanding how our intuition speaks to us. Next, we have the important question of how do we tell the difference between intuition and something else, like a coincidence or anxiety or impulsivity. And here I'd say discernment is key. For example, when you have a gut feeling that something's not right, you might ask yourself, is this an actual message of caution from my intuition, or am I just being a little paranoid, having some unnecessary anxiety? Or even sometimes I make decisions and it's like, is this an impulsive decision, or is this like my intuition is like, there's no question, this is the right decision. So learning to recognize true intuition takes time and reflection, which brings me to the actual intuitive practices. I've found that one of the best ways to reconnect with intuition has been spending time in nature. Nature operates in these rhythms and cycles, and it has an intuitive practice and process of its own. And just being around nature, being submersed in it, I believe can help ground you and reconnect us to our own natural instincts and inner knowing. For example, many ancient civilizations would watch animal behavior or weather patterns as a way to predict changes or make decisions. In the same way, spending time in nature can help you become more attuned to these subtle messages around you. Many migratory species like salmon and sea turtles and monarch butterflies, they embark on these incredible journeys, spanning thousands of miles to reach breeding or feeding grounds, and they're guided by this instinctive inner compass. Personally, I've grown to be really connected with trees, and when I feel a little lost or unsure of my decisions, I like to go chill in a forested area and get reassurance from trees that way. And here I just want to share a few of my favorite tree photos. There's trees that I visit repetitively, but yeah, I'm curious, is there a particular element of nature that resonates with you? Maybe trees, or a specific animal, or even the wind. There's times when I've gotten some what feel like strong messages from the wind. But yes, let us know in the comments. Another great practice is reflection. Think back to times when you received an intuitive nudge, but you ignored it. And you can also reflect on the moments where you did listen to your intuition and how that was beneficial. But yes, think, how did it feel? What was the outcome? Reflection can help us notice the patterns in our intuition and our decision making and the messages that we've received. So remember, the goal here is to learn and not dwell. We're not dwelling on these moments where maybe we made a mistake. After all, we're aiming to improve our future decisions by understanding our past. Journaling can be helpful here if you like to write things down, or you can also do like an audio journal, something visual, but try to describe what intuitive messages felt like for you. Describe them physically and mentally, and include what you learned from the experience and how you'd like to move forward from that. This is a powerful exercise that can improve your self-awareness and in turn strengthen your trust in your intuition. Now, here's a fun one. Creativity. When we create intuitively, whether that's through doodling, dancing, or any other activity that allows you to just freestyle, there's no time for you to overthink. You're just going to let things flow, and this is a great way to exercise intuition in what feels like a low pressure setting. Literally, try not to have any expectations here, and whatever happens is what happens. So you can practice this, I think, in a low stakes type of way. So one of the ways that I'm consistently improving my own intuition is through scientific remote viewing, which is pretty structured. But sometimes it's refreshing to just play and see where your intuition takes you. For example, I've been doing live painting performances that are completely improvised. I don't know what the end result's going to be. I don't know what specific paints or brushes that I'm going to use, and I just have fun with it. So I think there's a variety of ways that method could be applied to other activities. And lastly, I'm still researching more interesting scientific reads on intuition, so if you have any recommendations, I would appreciate them. But so far what I've found is that scientists think intuition works by allowing the unconscious mind to analyze a situation based on past experiences and patterns it's learned over time. This process happens faster than conscious reasoning and results in a feeling or a conclusion that bubbles up to our level of awareness. So even though it feels instantaneous, there could be a lot of quiet processing that's happening behind the scenes. But it's pretty amazing, right? Our brains are wired to pick up on patterns and signals, even if we're not actively thinking about them. And the more we practice tuning into these subtle signals, the sharper our intuition can become. Ultimately, building intuition is another part of building a relationship with yourself. The more you listen, trust, and experiment, the clearer your intuitive signals will become. So if you take anything away from this video, let it be to trust yourself a little more and give space to those quiet whispers of intuition. Thank you so much for watching and diving into this topic with me. If you found this helpful, or if you have any practices of your own you'd like to share, please let us know in the comments. Peace, and until next time, stay tuned to your inner voice and trust the journey. Peace.